Right then, week 2 roundup. Been a good week. Things got better as we got on. Definitely feeling mentally burnt out at this point. Christmas definitely can't come soon enough. So, yeah, developing a bit of a cold. Feeling a bit tired, feeling a bit run down. A few extra days of rest and recovery over the next 10 to 14 days will definitely be very useful. Definitely going to help. It's been a hard year on the body. It's been a hard year on the mind. It's been a lot of big battles and little battles as the weight has come off and as we've got through the competition prep and into wedding prep, I suppose. For every bit I feel better in myself, I am feeling the fatigue creeping in now, so it is definitely time to take a rest. Training was great. Day one was very good. We did squats, 4 sets of 6, 157.5 kilos. I had a really bad attitude about myself with these. The warm-up felt awful. I was stiff in my shoulders, my hips and my knees. Couldn't get under the bar, couldn't get down to depth. It took me till set 3 or 4 just to really feel comfortable. I got the work done that I was prescribed, but I just didn't feel great. Wasn't happy, wasn't enjoying it. Bench was so much better than squat on this day. I was happy. I had some shoulder aggravation, didn't feel great. It's been there all week pretty much. I don't know what I've done, but within the joint, like actually inside the joint, feels unsteady. A lot like when I've dislocated my left shoulder before, but my right shoulder is the one that's playing up. Don't understand it, but it is what it is. The reps were quite smooth. They were very controlled. I felt like I had another, 3 or 4 reps in each set, which was good. 4 sets of 6, 95 kilos, moved plenty fine. Did some overhead press, much like last week. Did 30 kilo dumbbells this week. The shoulder caused more pain than I could ever imagine, so it wasn't the best stimulus, but we did 3 sets of 8. We got through it, and we know better for next time. Bent over rows. As said last week, I only went to 82.5 kilos because that first set at 90 last week was miserable, and then the sets at 80 were rubbish. So 82.5 was a nice place to be this week. Buttery smooth, very consistent with the speed and the fatigue, so I didn't drop off as quick, which was nice. 4 sets of 12 then on weighted hyperextensions, same 40 kilo dumbbell, no point in increasing the weight. I was just really focusing on driving the glutes, contracting the hamstrings and feeling the stretch at the bottom and the contraction at the top. Worked well. My glutes and my hamstrings were very sore for a fair few days afterwards. And then, we rolled into day 2. Work was a little bit quieter. It seems like Christmas was catching up to us a little bit, so feeling a lot better. Training felt better for it as well. My cold was starting to develop at this point, but it wasn't enough to kind of stop me in my tracks then. 175 kilos, 4 sets of 6. Absolutely metronomic in pace, metronomic in form, just perfect. It's lightweight, it's easy work. I shouldn't struggle. I didn't struggle. Enjoyed it. Long pause bench, again, enjoying these, enjoy them as much as I did last week. 85 kilos this week, so only a small increase, 3 sets of 6. No shoulder pain, which was nice, which was a positive step forward, which ultimately went backwards the rest of the week, but it was nice on the day, so that's all we really care about. Pause safety squat bar felt much easier than last week, much better. I undershot it on the basis of last week feeling rough. We did the 120 warm up as I did last week, and that was fine. It was a 5 kilo increase on last week at 145 kilos, but I think I could have done the 147.5. I think it was there. But it's good work. It's good work on 3 compound lifts, and we're happy. Can only be happy with it. Then we moved into the pin squats on the 3rd day. These were quite simple. Depth felt easier to achieve than it did last week, and then I moved through the sets a lot more comfortably, I should say, than the week prior. Spot bench still feels awful. We did 75 kilos, so again, just a 5 kilo increase from last week. The movement is fine. I understand it more now and I feel more comfortable doing it. But actually, the pause an inch or two off the chest and the control on the way down still feels somewhat alien. Not in a bad way, just not necessarily good. Something that not necessarily something I feel happy about doing still. Did the single arm dumbbell rows, same as last week. I did a 30 kilo dumbbell again, just trying to have less body English, less fatigue, and just enjoy it. And again, I did 5 sets of 10. Last week by set 3, I was in pain of just pump and just size of body, not being able to handle the volume. But this week was fine. We got through it much more comfortably, much more easily, and yeah, it felt good. I actually enjoyed doing them this week, which was a much better place to be. Then we just moved on to do some core work and did bird dogs again, 3 sets of 6 either side. A nice little movement to just, yeah, light you up a little bit before you pop off. Day 4 was great. That was yesterday. Pause deadlifts. These were immaculate compared to how they've been before. The pause was millimeters off the floor, so it was a very nice marginal pull. Control all the way through. Shape was good. I wasn't shooting my hips high. I wasn't locking my legs too soon. Again, pace was metronomic and form was beautiful. So nice and simple. Touch and go bench still feels wrong as well. Spent so long over the past kind of 5-6 months training myself to pause and then having touch and go bench as an alternative or as a secondary tertiary movement now feels stupid again. But I think I'm starting to learn to do a touch and a go without a bounce. Before I would be very quick to bounce it off my chest and kind of just throw it back out, but it is through spotter press, I assume. I'm learning to control it down, and as soon as I feel that touch, push back up. So I'm actually learning to keep the tension in my body, which is very good, and I assume going in a better place. Moved on to stiff leg deadlifts next. This was easy. It's still very light. It's like 45% of my max. It's not difficult at all. It's just controlling, again, hamstrings, glutes, getting them firing, getting them going. Moved on to some more pump orientated work then, while still controlling the weight. We're not just, as it's colloquially known, moving weight around. We did a nice wide grip pull down, really engaging the lats and focusing on bringing elbows towards the middle of my back. A really nice cue I picked up from Calgary Barbell's Form Check Friday this week was when you're on squat, imagine you're pulling your elbows towards a little spot in the middle of your back where your belt is. And I was actually trying to imitate that on the pull down to get that kind of that lat engagement, and it was perfect. It felt lovely. So if I can engage that into my squat as well, that'll be beautiful. And then triceps, we did some overhead rope extensions, really slow on the eccentric, really nice explosive concentric. Not too heavy, but 4 sets of 10, really nice and controlled. Didn't get as much of a DOMs as I normally think I would have, but when I was doing them, they felt hard. On the muscle, not on the joints or any pain like that. It just felt tough. So no DOMs don't mean that I haven't done it right. I firmly believe that anyway, but I think in this case I just was okay with it. Just one of those days where I had enough food or whatever it was, it felt good. So all in all, a good week. We had a nice weekend. Saturday we saw Laura's family as we were supposed to, as we were going to, which was lovely. Laura's brother came down. It was nice to see him. He lives in London, so he's not local. Sunday was a bit more of a dossing day where we didn't really do a lot. Just went and got some food, and then I trained, and we were playing on a Switch. Saturday was actually lovely as well, to go back to that. When I saw the boys, we went out for breakfast. We had their suits fitted for the wedding, which was really exciting. They all looked absolutely awesome. The suits were absolutely fantastic as well. They didn't have all of the waistcoats for the boys, the biggest and the smallest, weren't there, which is fine. You know, at the end of the day, we still got their size, so they're still going to look good on the day. We know where they are. And then yeah, I've got my final fit in now in 2 weeks' time, which will be absolutely fine. I know that I'm not really having changed size since my last fit in. I'm not really going to change size too much, even if I do lose kind of £10 like I think I want to. I don't think that's going to make a massive difference. I think I've probably got £3 or £4 of water in me before I even drop the extra couple of pounds, so I don't think it's going to be a massive difference. And it was quite tight on me anyway, not like uncomfortable, but it was big enough or small enough that if I do lose a pound or two, it's not going to be hanging off me. So quite excited for that. I signed up to volunteer at the next Welsh powerlifting meet, which is the Winter Cup in January on the 27th. I don't know if I'll get picked yet. I've never volunteered before, but I need to get my name out there. If I want to do these big things and if I want to move, people need to know who I am. So get signed up for that. And hopefully we'll have some news on the qualifying total. I spoke to one of the guys who he knows some people on the committee, and my estimate of 650 might actually be a bit high. So plans for next year could be a lot more achievable than I thought, which is good. Maybe takes a little bit of pressure and a little bit of stress off post-wedding, but we'll see. We'll see what happens. I'm not dwelling on it too much. I think that, if I stress too much about it, then maybe I'll get myself into a bad place. But I'm all volunteered. I'll get my name out there, and yeah, we'll get ready to compete. Don't know how much I'll get done over Christmas. I've got sessions booked, but who knows? It's Christmas. Maybe I won't do an update next week, but we'll see how we go, and Merry Christmas.